Sal Berry.
Dude, I literally watched hockey for like 11 hours straight. It was awesome.
And Tim Parish.
Brett Burns' beard needs to have an award named after him. Yeah, Brett Burns Beard Award. I think they should go to somebody.
We're going into ridiculousness over here.
Going off the rails.
This is the Puck Junk Podcast.
Hello and welcome to a long overdue return of the Puck Junk Podcast. I'm Sal Berry. Along with me is Tim Parish, and we're gonna restart, or we're currently restarting the Puck Junk Podcast as you listen to this right now. Lots of things went on over the last couple of years that just kept me away from podcasting, but I got all that stuff behind me now, and we're back, and hopefully for good this time. Knock on wood, we will do this. I'm hoping once a week. So. Tim, how you doing over there in over the border in Indiana?
Over the border.
Usually
when you say over the border, you mean Canada. So I suppose
right.
Indiana's a lot like Canada, though. I'm doing great. I'm fantastic. If I was any better, I'd be twins.
The Sedin twins or the Sutter twins?
Either or. They both have millions of dollars.
I don't know about Rich and Ron, even though his name's Rich Sutter. I don't think he was a Rich Sutter. I think those are back when those guys were making $100K or $200K. Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, I agree. So today, just to kind of ease back into the whole podcasting thing, we're going to talk about the new Upper Deck MVP set. It came out about a month ago. Tim got a box. I got a couple of boxes. Did you buy any at retail, or did you just open the hobby box you got?
I believe we got a blaster box retail, and we also tore through some rack packs.
Oh, okay. So you have more like a more nuanced understanding of it because of, or not the understanding, but like, if you just buy retail packs, you get a certain allotment of short prints and hard to get cards and stuff like that. And if you buy, retail or hobby boxes rather, then you tend to get more of the short prints and stuff like that. So it's good to mix it up. So what did you think of this year's MVP set? By the way, just want to throw out there really quick, 8 cards per pack. Hobby box has 20 packs. I think they're selling, I don't know, maybe $75 or $80 a hobby box, maybe less. I know my local store was selling them for about $4 a pack, and obviously it's cheaper if you buy them online or you buy a full box of them. But what did you think of this year's MVP?
Well, I'll tell you this before we get too far into it. Those prices you quoted, I don't know where you're buying them, but us over here across the border, we're paying a lot less than that for those boxes. I was going to say, I got one. I picked one up from a hobby shop for under $50.
Oh, okay. So, well, then maybe I was incorrect about that. I could have sworn I saw them for $4 a pack at a local shop, and I just
you may very well have, and that's not entirely out of the question. Mm-hmm. For being the first set of the year every year, this is always one of those ones where people are have a hankering for some new hockey cards, and this is the first set of the year. So I think this year's set, when I opened the first pack, I was kind of surprised because I was expecting to see a certain thing, and I didn't see that. The last few years, MVP has had that kind of brownish tan design color to it. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, this year's color is some sort of mint green, bluish, silverish. I don't even know how to describe the color. Fish scale color almost.
Yeah, fish scale. That's a good description.
Yeah. And so, the design pattern, it's not going to blow anybody away by any means, just because this is an entry level set, what they would consider a low end set. But it is kind of nice to bust out and take a look at some of the newer stuff that's out there. I think, MVP is kind of stuck, or at least Upper Deck is stuck to the same general design for MVP over the years, where you have a lot of the card rather than full bleed borders like they generally do on their base sets
Hmm.
of Series 1 or Series 2, you generally have a lot of busyness going on in the borders and, a large MVP logo slapped on the bottom and
Hmm.
the name and everything else. So a lot of the design part of the card is taken up rather than the picture, but it was nice to see something other than that plain brown wrapper color like they have been the last few years.
Now, I'll tell you what I liked about MVP this year. Uh, the first thing, and I think they actually made this change last year, but I didn't really buy packs of it last year. For a little while, for a couple of years, MVP did this thing where they did 3 different tiers. Normally, it'd be like the first 200 cards were the base set, and then the last 50 or so cards were the short printed rookie cards. What they did for a few years is they would do something where like cards 1 through 100 were like super common, and then 100 through maybe 200, or maybe it was 1 through 90 and 91 through 180 or something like that, were uncommon, and then you had the short print. So you had 3 different tiers of cards. So that first 90 or 100 cards would be kind of like your second or third line guys, and then maybe the next 100 cards would be like your very best players, and then the last 50 cards would be the rookie cards. And I didn't like that because what was happening was it was like having 3 different sets. Like, I'll buy a base set if it's missing rookie cards. I don't care. If I just want the base set and it's cheap and I like the cards, that's fine. But then I saw a lot of ones were selling like cards 1 through 100 for like next to nothing. And then it'd be like, okay, it doesn't have Kane, Taves, Ovechkin, Crosby, Matthews, McDavid, but it'll have Draisaitl and it'll have Seabrook and it'll have Kessel and it'll have maybe Marner. I mean, Marner's a superstar, but you get the idea where like the superstars were in like that second tier where they were like the short prints, and then the rookies were the super short prints. Did you pick up on that a couple of years ago when they were doing that?
When they would split them a few years ago, yeah. It's kind of been the last, at least this year, if you count this year being 1920 and then the 1819 and the 1718s, you have the base set being a focused around more around 200 guys,
Hmm.
um, followed by another 50 that are. Um, I think are they split this year between high numbers and or not high number between rookies and like veteran players, what you would consider the
I
stars, or
don't
is it
think
all
so. I think the
rookies?
last 50 are all rookies.
Are they all rookies?
Yeah, let me
Okay.
pull up, not to advertise, but let me pull up good old Cardboard Connection for a minute, because they always got the checklist. And I actually pulled up the checklist earlier somewhere in one of these many, many myriads of browser tabs. Uh, well, anyway, somewhere around here, I have, here we go.
See, I thought it was like 25 of them were like superstar cards, and then the other 25 were rookies, but I could be
Here we
wrong.
go. 1920 MVP set checklist. Let me just take a look here. So it looks like, oh yeah, base set short print. Yeah, you are correct. For 1920, yeah, 201 Henrik Lundqvist, 202 Joe Thornton, 203 Steve Stamkos, 204 Patrick Kane. Yeah, okay. Not
So
really.
you are gonna see that, that super a few of those superstars thrown into that higher end. Not as many as you saw before. And I would I can take it or leave it, I guess. Short prints seem to be the thing even in the lower quality products.
Yeah, but
I mean,
tiered short prints, that's like some Black Diamond stuff, and I just don't want that. You know what I mean?
yeah, I was gonna say the Black Diamond, when it was actually affordable and a regular product,
Hmm.
was always that very thing. You had the single diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, quad diamond,
Hmm.
and you had that whole intermixing of okay, who's going to be in which set, and you always had, some of the veteran players, some of the Hall of Famers mixed with, you know, middle of the road guys in the bottom. You
Hmm.
had the second and the third tier mixed with the basic third tier rookies, followed by the quads that always had, your higher end rookies along with, well, Black Diamond used to do the All-Star game alternate jersey
Hmm.
cards for a lot of those. But yeah, you don't really see that in the MVP, but you do see, some short printing with some of the rookies in the higher end. So it's not as prevalent as it was in years past. That's for sure.
So, okay, so I'm glad about that. I'm glad that it's the 200 and then 50. That's not too bad. That's not impossible. I've been able to complete 250 card sets with 50 short prints. Not the easiest, but not the hardest either. So I'm okay with that. I'm actually happy with that. I'll tell you what I really like. I do like the base set design. Like you said, it's different. It's not the greatest, but it's different, and I'm okay with that. I do wish the MVP logo was a little bit smaller, but you
Agreed.
know, yeah, it takes up the thing that I noticed with like a lot of hockey cards, and this is like a problem with like hockey cards. Think about it this way: where is the okay? Think of a football player. Where is the football usually? Is it above the guy's waist or below the guy's waist? It's usually up, right? They're making a throw, they're making a catch, right? They're trying to pick, whatever. Basketball, they're taking a shot, they're making a pass, whatever. Hands up, ball is up. Baseball, the bat is up, the ball is up. Hockey, it's down on the ground. Their stick is down, the puck is down. And I know that a lot of these cut off their feet, but I feel that like one of the challenges with hockey cards is that you because a lot of action happens along the ice or it happens low, when you have that logo there, it covers up a lot of potential action. And that's one problem I struggle with when you have like an MVP logo towards the bottom or a victory logo or some sort of logo there.
I've actually never thought about it that way.
Hmm.
In that the sport focus is generally on what the player is doing with, for lack of a better word, the scoring device, whether it's
Hmm.
the football, the baseball. I
The
never really even
MacGuffin.
thought of it
The
that way, but
MacGuffin.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you've got you do have that. You have the NHL player photos focused on, you know, if it was focused on the puck, it'd be focused on that. But generally, most of the photos in hockey are some sort of midsection,
Hmm.
knees to head type shot where
Hmm.
it's not showing the puck. I mean, obviously, every picture would mostly be a zoomed out picture if you were going to try to get the whole entire player, with the puck or something like that, or it would have to be zoomed in and they'd be crouched down, so it'd be kind of a weird shot. You
Hmm.
know, obviously with Upper Deck having the sole license for doing the product, you have a limitation on the photos that can be used on the cards.
Hmm.
So they're not going to throw their best work onto, the 50-$60 box of cards.
True. They're going to
Generally
save
they're
that for.
yeah, and generally their better photos are going to start off showing up in the series 1, followed by some of the other sets going through the rest of the year, because we always look and we see that some of those base shots, um, in series 1 are always classic.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
so
So
I think
yeah.
some of these photos are probably taken with the sole idea that, hey, these are going to be on our MVP, or these are going to be on our OPG, or these are going to be on our retail version of SP or something like that.
Right, right. So I'll tell you another thing that I like. I really like the Stanley Cup edition throwback parallels. Did you get a lot of those in your boxes?
I believe I got 4 in one box. I
Mm-hmm.
got 4 in another box,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually got a lot, LOT, um, that I bought of a whole bunch of like inserts and stuff like that. And strangely enough, whoever I bought these from threw a bunch of those in there. So I ended up with a little handful of additional ones too. I think they're really cool. I like them. They, obviously they're the same design as the 99 2000 um, MVP Stanley Cup edition, which was a very popular set. I mean, there's still collectors out there that I know of to this day that are still trying to put that full set together.
What I'm noticing is that just looking side by side, so like MVP Stanley Cup edition from 99 2000 used like a gold or like a bronze colored foil, and these are using a silver colored foil and then also putting a signature in front of it, almost like a silver script parallel.
Right.
And so, I mean, that's okay. It doesn't have to be spot on. I
So
didn't mind it.
which
I
were
didn't.
those ones that you just held up there?
So this is a Paul Kariya from 99 2000 Stanley Cup
That's
edition.
that's the original one.
That's the original.
Okay.
And then this is Phil Kessel from or I should say Arizona Coyote Phil Kessel and hot dog eating champ
You,
Phil Kessel
you mean two-time Stanley Cup winning Phil Kessel?
and Masterton Trophy winner Phil Kessel. That's that as well.
Okay.
So it's got that silver signature at the bottom, like a silver script. And
Yes.
you know what was funny was that I think I pulled like every possible parallel of Phil Kessel because I got like this version, and then let's see if I got like this version of Phil Kessel. It's
Ooh.
like, yeah, I know
Is that
it's
the color
nice.
and contour one?
Yeah, it's got color and it's got contours, so it
What's that
must
numbered out? Is that numbered out 249?
mm, something. I don't know. Oh yeah, 249.
Yeah, I only pulled one of those, and it was a Colin Blackwell
Who?
rookie.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that's
yeah,
good.
exactly.
Well,
No,
okay, and that's
Colin
you know what?
Blackwell is a rookie. He's like a young prospect for Nashville,
Okay, and
and that's what I pulled.
that's actually a really good point that we could talk about is who are the rookies that they're putting in this set. And without reading you a list of them, I mean, I think one reason why I don't flock towards these early season releases is because they're going to have the leftover rookies, as I call them, from the previous season. And it's hard to get excited about the most of those guys. And then they don't even bother to update the set. Like at least like Opeachy has an update, and anything with the series 2 or an update series is awesome in my book. But when you have a set of hockey cards come out in August, and then okay, there's one redemption card for like Jack Hughes, and then that's it. Like you don't get, you're not going to get Phil Kessel in the Arizona Coyotes jersey, or you're not going to get any rookie who makes his debut other than Hughes. And that's like a really tough pull to get that redemption card. I actually got one, which is funny because,
Really?
yeah, it's something like one in every like 1,400 packs. I said that to my girlfriend and she just seemed unimpressed. Obviously, because there's no talent in pulling a redemption card. You just, you get a box and it either has it or it doesn't have it. And that was
In my experience, there's lots of skill involved, so I'm
really,
just gonna leave it at
yeah.
that.
Yeah. See, so it says I am entitled to this card.
Huh.
So I need to redeem it. Not in really a real hurry because I'll do it
Probably have
tomorrow.
at least 18 months, right, before they expire.
Well, not only that, but he has to play in a game, and then they have to make a card of him. I mean, they'll probably use something from the rookie photo shoot, but still, if it was like a numbered card, like I remember, I want to say it was, I forgot what year it was. It was James Van Riemsdyk's rookie year because I got a redemption card for like a parallel version of his rookie card, and it said, numbered to 15. And I sent that in right away and I got number 1 out of 15. Because as soon as I saw it was numbered, I'm like, oh, I hope I get number 1 out of 15. And, sure enough, I redeemed it. And then when it came, it was number 1 out of 15. And so I was pretty psyched about that. But if it's just like an open-ended non-print run, I'll except for that Ali Mata card that I forgot about for 2 years and then I redeemed. I didn't redeem. I scratched it and it didn't work. And And that's funny because then he played for your team for a while, and now he's on my team, and neither of us got the Alimata rookie jersey autograph whatever card because
Yeah.
I literally just forgot about it. It just sat in a stack for like 2 years.
So that redemption, is that specific for, is that like the ones that they've done in the past for the conference rookies? Or
No,
is
it
that
just
just
says
specifically for Quinn Hughes?
just for was it Quinn Hughes or Jack Hughes?
Should be Quinn if it's a rookie.
Oh, okay. Did
'Cause
I say Jack?
Yeah, you might have. I don't know.
Hang on.
The Hugheses are turning into the Sutters. We're never going to keep them straight.
Oh no, we will. I'm just gonna look this up really quick.
Because Quinn Hughes is a short print, one of the
Jack
high
Hughes.
number short
No,
print.
Jack Hughes is an American ice hockey forward currently playing for the New Jersey Devils of the National Hockey League. Thank you, Wikipedia. First overall by the Devils in the 2019 draft. So yes, so Jack Hughes. You don't know Jack Hughes.
Yeah, Jack is on the Stanley Cup winning New Jersey Devils. Because if you listen to the radio, basically everybody's already crowning them. So high hopes this year.
Yeah.
With that lineup that they've got now. So what exactly does it say on that card?
This card may be redeemed for a 2019 NHL first number 1 draft pick trading card. And then there's fine print on the back, which I'm not even gonna. But that's basically the gist of it.
So it says the number 1 draft pick or a number 1 draft pick?
For a number 1 draft pick. But I think they mean the number 1 because they're not saying a first round draft pick. They're saying a number 1 draft pick trading card. So they mean a trading card of the number 1 draft pick.
Okay.
Not the number 2 draft pick or not the number 3 draft pick.
So that must be a separate, possibly a separate card other than the standard numbered cards that are in the set, because Quinn Hughes is on the list. I mean, he's like number 248.
No, this is for Jack Hughes.
Oh.
Yeah, the Devil, the guy who's drafted first overall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Why do I keep saying Quinn? Because Quinn's in the set. That's why.
I don't know. You know, they were both pictured together on the Hockey News on the newest issue. They're pictured together. So that's pretty cool. But so I like the Stanley Cup edition parallels, and I gotta tell you, I really like the puzzle back variants. I don't like the one side because all the copyright junk is like right in the middle, almost in the middle of the card. I'll hold that up here, like right, again, like more stuff that we just don't need cluttering the photo. So this isn't really necessarily like an exciting to look at card. Because the first time I saw that, I'm like, a couple years ago, I thought it was like a misprint or something. Well, first I was mad because I'm like, oh, I got 2 of this card. Oh man, I got 20 doubles. That sucks, right? And then when I like took another look, then I was like, oh, that's weird. Why is the card number there? And then I flipped it over and I saw it had a puzzle. I'm like, oh, that's cool. See, back in the 80s, when I would buy non-sport card sets by Topps, they would always do a puzzle. Do you remember that? Like, I'm a little older than you, so you probably don't remember like the Return of the Jedi cards.
Oh, I remember.
There'd be like however many cards per pack, and then a stick of gum, and then a sticker. And the back side of the sticker back would have part of a puzzle.
Yeah.
And I loved those puzzles. And I was
just like Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, I wasn't in the Garbage Pail Kids so much back in the day, but I mean, I liked non-sport cards. I mean, I remember buying Empire Strikes Back. Really, my mom bought them for me. I was too young to buy cards, but Empire and Jedi. And I remember buying, what was it? Couple years later, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Batman movie and Gremlins 2 and Ghostbusters 2. And some of those sets, like, even if I didn't finish the set of cards, I would always try to complete a puzzle. And so I liked that. I liked the idea of like these smaller cards making up a bigger card. And like if I had like the time and the I guess the ambition, I would like get images of all of them and make like a game where you could like swap like where you have like Alex Ovechkin's head but Sidney Crosby's torso, like card number 1 from Kane's puzzle and card number 2 from Ovechkin's puzzle, and like make an amalgam of like the different players
Right.
with the puzzle pieces. That'd be kind of funny. But I like the puzzle backs.
And I agree. I think it's a good idea. It kind of mixes things up a little bit to keep a normal low end product a little more interesting. Um, However, they're not that much fun when you're trying to put the whole sets together,
This
because
is
if you would
true.
actually count them as part of the set, it's already hard enough to find um, secondary sales for a low end product like this. But then also try to fish through boxes and boxes of cards looking for puzzle backs specifically, because let's face it, most people don't pay attention or even look at them and realize, oh, this isn't a normal card, so it should be in a different box. But the fact that you only get, I believe, what is it, 4 or 6 in a box
Something
as
like
far as
that.
puzzle pieces go,
Hmm.
it'll take you quite a while to be able to put one together. I believe there are 20. Does that sound right? 20 different puzzles?
Yeah, I think there's like 9 per player, and I want to say it's something like that. And you're right about people not even noticing, because when I went to the National, I went for all 5 days, so I was able to spend a lot of time sifting through boxes. And sometimes it's just about what you might find. And somebody had like dime cards, and yeah, they had the puzzle backs in there with the MVP base cards, and I was pulling them out for a dime a piece, and I was like, this is a nice find. This is from a set from a couple years ago, but still, same idea. It
Because they
was
are short printed, and that's you're not going to find those as prevalent as you are the regular base cards. So when you find those flipped through there, that's definitely something that, at least in my mind, shouldn't be in those checklists. However, if there's any dealers listening, leave them in those boxes so I
Yeah,
can find.
please just leave all the short prints in there. Did you feel that there were too many different parallels and inserts in the set, or did you like that? Because I actually kind of like I opened like 4 or 5 packs in a row, and each pack had, or like the first 4 or 5 I opened in a row had a insert or a rookie card or a parallel, and I kind of liked that. And then I opened a pack and it was just 8 base cards, and I was just like, oh, that's not as much fun. So I kind of almost want this set to have like one parallel short print or insert per pack. But you said when you're trying to build a set, that becomes annoying. What are your thoughts? Do you feel like this set had too many, too few, or just right?
Well, that's obviously going to be part of a box, because nobody buys a box just to get a bunch of base cards. I mean, let's face it, the world we live in. I mean, we go to these shows and we see it all the time. People open boxes and they throw the base cards in the trash. So
Right.
that's the world we live in now. Those of us that are trying to put sets together and do that kind of thing, we live on our own little island. So let me get that out of the way first. The the idea of us busting open these packs and looking through here and saying, oh, I fell short of a full set by X number of cards because I have all these inserts here. Well, that's part of the allure of the set. Um, this targeting at a lower end, I don't want to use the cliched term that this is targeted at kids, but if you want to say this is an entry level kid edition into hockey, then a kid's not going to want a bunch of base cards. Yeah, they're going to want to find their favorite player and see that, but that only goes so far. They're going
Hmm.
to want to see these anniversary editions with these silver scripts. They're going to want to see, the rookie cards with the silver scripts. They're going to want to see the color and contours. They're going to want to see numbered cards, which I thought was really good that they numbered the color and contours rather than just making them a certain color.
Hmm.
They're going to want to see the shiny on the laser shots. I don't know if you got any of the laser shot inserts out of
I
there,
did.
but
Yeah.
they're super shiny and have kind of a rainbow foil background. Same thing with the net crashers. You
Hmm.
turn those to the light, they're almost like a prism card. They have the nice rainbow back. Supernovas, same thing. So MVP's kind of upped the game a little bit, I
Hmm.
think, on some of these inserts, because they're not just plain old inserts. They've
Hmm.
got some backgrounds They've got some shiny to kind of give them a little more, you know, or a little
To make them
less
a little more
boring.
appealing. Yeah,
Yes,
I
yeah,
agree.
exactly. So I don't mind that. Um, and I also, the other thing too is when you get into the production of these cards, I don't want to see them bombarded with inserts. That's the thing.
Hmm.
I don't want to see, every pack. Okay, I got 3 cards, and then I got a blue color of this, and a red
Hmm.
color of that, and this insert and this parallel. I don't want all of that in there. If there's one in every pack and it's either a rookie card or a short print, plus every 3 packs might have something else in it, that's fine.
Hmm.
The fact that there was a laser shots insert, a net crashers insert, and a supernova. I don't know that there was another one. Those were the only ones that I found in
Hmm.
any of the boxes I got. Um,
Oh, and then the silver scripts.
well, yeah, the silver script parallels. I think there was supposed to be was it like blue liner set? I haven't seen any of those.
I got this, and at first blush, I thought it was actually autographed. It's numbered to 5, though. It's like a I don't know what it is. It's just like
It's
basically
numbered to 5.
it's numbered to. This one is numbered 2 out of 5,
So that's a
and
superscript, and it's black, right?
it's black,
Yeah, that's a superscript. So
and
those are hobby only. Those are a hobby only insert.
yep,
They're all numbered out of 5.
yep.
They've been doing MVP's been doing superscripts for a long time.
Hmm.
They've been included, but they've been so hard to pull. I mean, very rare.
Well, I pulled one, and I actually thought it was an autograph, and then I did a double take, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh no, that's just facsimile, and
sure.
and actually, I'll tell you one thing that disappoints me, and this doesn't have to, well, this has a little bit to do with player selection, is that this was Linus Ullmark, and he was actually the backup last year for Buffalo. Carter Hutton was the starting goalie for Buffalo, and I collect his cards. So it's like he's had like scant cards here and there because the guy was like a backup, or he wouldn't even be a backup. He'd be like a call up who would sit on the bench but not play in any games. And then, finally he started getting some cards when he was with, like, he had rookie cards in 10-11, and then he didn't have any NHL cards until he started playing for the Predators and then the Blues. And, he'd usually be featured with the Blues because they're a little, maybe he played a little bit more, is maybe a little bit more mainstream of a player by then. But so, like, he played with Buffalo last year, so I'm thinking, cool, he's going to be in like every damn set this year. And here, sure enough, I get this card, and it's a Sabres goalie, and it's Linus Ullmark, and I'm just like, why did they make the card of this Sabres goalie and not the one who was like the number 1 goalie? Because I would have actually been really excited to get a Stanley Cup edition parallel of his card and a color and contours version of Carter Hutton, and like all these different, like, I got like 8 different Phil Kessels, and I'm like, man, now if that was a player that I collected, I'd be like, yeah, this is pretty cool to have all these parallels because it's kind of neat. But yeah, I guess I was maybe a little down on that. And maybe that's one of my complaints about MVP, is that it's not a super big set. So you're only going to get like, what do you got? 200 cards, and you got 30 teams, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. Okay, 31 teams. So you're going to get like 6 or 7 or 8 players per team. So you're not going to get everybody, obviously, but you're not even going to get half of everybody.
And if we're talking about the Buffalo's checklist, there's only 5.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, Eichel, Skinner, Sam Reinert, the one you got, and Rasmus Dahlin. That's it.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
I think they added Alex Nylander as part of the Global Series
Hmm.
cards, but other than that, that was all they have in the whole checklist. And you're right, you're not going to get that if you're a team like the Flames, who have a lot of up and coming young guys. I
Hmm.
mean, the Flames have 8,
Hmm.
so in the base set, if you're counting the all 250 cards, they have 8 cards. Um, but a team like Buffalo doesn't. I guess doesn't pop up on the radar when it comes to that kind of stuff. And here's what's even funnier.
Hmm.
Think about the teams that would have lots and lots of superstars that should be covered. Um, Blue Jackets are probably not high on your list, but
Hmm.
the Blue Jackets have 13 cards in the base set.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Well,
which
two of those,
includes two
Bobrovsky and
rookies.
yeah. Oh, and then two rookie. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which includes two rookies, but still, I mean, and again, you go back and you look at it and you're like, oh, let's see, knowing what we know now, Matt Duchene's gone and Bob's gone and Panarin's gone
Yeah.
and Dzingle's gone. So, I mean, none of those guys are on the team anymore, but at the time of printing and at the time that, obviously Upper Deck has to get all of their photos and everything done up for their printing,
Hmm.
you know, that's kind of what they went with. So, yeah, you're right. You can't have them all, but in a set that's this size, um, that's what you're gonna have. I haven't looked at the Opeachy checklist. Maybe he's in there. Have you
Oh,
looked in there?
sure he is. I haven't even thought that far. I know Peachy's come out, but I just haven't really.
Yeah.
I really haven't gone full in on collecting yet. I'm still kind of still just kind of in like summer mode and not quite like it's hockey season, even though it's going to be hockey season really, really soon. Let me ask you this though. Did you buy MVP last year
I
for
did.
1819?
I did.
Did you try to finish a set?
I'm still working on it.
Did you know that Upper Deck came out with a factory set of
I
1819 MVP?
I did.
How
Um,
does that make you feel?
um,
Well, while you
I
think
I don't.
about that,
I mean, go ahead.
so here's what I'm
I'll
gonna say.
formulate my answer here.
It was late at the end of last season. Maybe it was the finals. We're at Target, and I'm looking at all the baseball sets. There's the Topps baseball factory set, and then there's the Donruss football factory set, and there's like all these different factory sets. I think Topps puts out a couple of different baseball sets. I'm not sure, but um,
Yeah, every retailer has like their own version.
okay.
So
So, but I'm looking and I'm saying to myself, I wish hockey cards would come out in a factory set. And I'm looking and and I'm just like, I remember like saying that, like, and then as I'm looking at the blaster boxes of the Upper Deck hockey cards, I see one of them is sideways and it's $30. And I go, why is that blaster box sideways? And then I pull it out. And I'm like, oh, this blaster box is heavy. It's not a blaster box. It's a complete set of cards, and I actually I'll hold up the box here for you to see, but um, it's about the size of a blaster. And then I was like, okay, it has the 200 base cards, it has the
right.
50 short printed, and then it had a bonus pack that had like another 4 or 5 cards where they did like 5 cards from players from like I don't know if they said Eastern Conference or Western Conference or if it was by division. What does this say? This says Western Stars 5. So I guess it was
Yeah,
West.
you'll get one of each.
Well, that
There's
was
like a
ran.
there's like a star rookie pack.
Uh
There's a
huh.
Western Conference.
Uh
There's an
huh.
Eastern Conference. So, and it's five guys from in each box, and it's random per set.
So I was totally amped about getting. I was thrilled. I'm like, all right, $30 for a complete set. It's got the rookie cards. It's got the base set. I was excited. I bought it without hesitation. I was kind of feeling a little smug that I didn't buy any packs of MVP because I remember like back in like I remember like 1990 91 like building a Topps hockey set and then like seeing like the factory set and just being like son of a gun, right? Like why did I buy all those packs to build a set? But I'd always fall for it. You know what I mean? I mean, I even fell for it when I was a baseball collector because I remember buying 85 Topps baseball and then seeing the factory set at Walgreens at like the end of the year up on like that top shelf that just seems so far away when you're like 10 years old. Like, I can't reach it. But like then I'm thinking, well, that's dumb. I bought all these cards and I could have just gotten the full set. But then I'd fall for it. Oh, then the 86 baseball came out and I was like so excited and buy them. And then like the end of the year. And so then after a while, I just kind of learned, yeah, just kind of wait and see. I know with this, it's really infrequent. I mean, the last factory set I remember Upper Deck putting out for hockey, and I might be wrong about this, but I want to say it was 2008, 2009 Power Play, which was like a set that was only sold in factory sets. And then they did an update set, which was kind of nice. but it didn't come out in packs. But I bought them both. I was psyched about that. I mean, I remember 2009, 2010 O-Pee-Chee having an update set, and I remember buying that without a hesitation, like, this is great. So I like the MVP factory set from last year. Well, how do you feel as somebody who tried to build the set and now there's a set that you can get for $30, which would probably cost less than maybe the rookie cards that you need from it?
All right. So I see two different things here. So one, if you're a set builder and you're putting a set together, the thrill of the chase is kind of part of the deal. And I think that's why set collectors do what they do, because let's face it, there's so much product that's out there now on the market, and there's so many sources to get this product, albeit box breakers, group breakers, dealers, online, whatever your source is to go to get product. There's a lot more now than there was before, which means there's a lot more product out on the market. So you're going and you're buying packs, and you're buying packs, and you're buying packs, trying to put this together. Well, there's a lot of more options out there to sit and wait maybe a couple months, and then somebody's going to be like, oh, I already built this set because I bought a bajillion packs, and so I'm going to sell this set for X number of dollars. Well, Upper Deck has now cut out that middleman, saved you the time, and said, here, we're going to box all 250 cards together, and we'll let you buy all 250 cards. You don't have to buy a pack. Granted, you don't get the inserts, you don't get the shot at the redemptions, you don't get any of the parallels, you don't get any of that kind of stuff. But if you want the whole set, here's the whole set. However, in December when this came out last year, I saw it. I saw it online. And I'm like, what is this? Like, this is weird. This can't be real. And then I looked on Upper Deck's website, and I saw it on Upper Deck's website. And I thought, well, this is really strange. Like, why would they do this? And then I delve into it. The factory set, the cards are blue. The actual set, the cards are gold. They're different. They're completely different.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to say the pictures are
looking.
different. The design is the same. The pictures are the same, but the borders on the cards are blue.
Can you see like that?
Like a bluish gray color.
Yeah,
right?
okay. Yeah.
So if you look at the actual MVP cards that were in retail boxes or, hobby boxes, they have that brownish gray or brownish gold border that I was originally talking about when we started this conversation.
Okay, I've been schooled. Thank you.
So it's the retail factory set is a different, it's a different card, I guess.
It's a parallel.
Yeah,
it's a
well,
parallel.
sure. For lack of a better word, it's another parallel. It's a different color.
See, I didn't buy them last year, so I didn't know that they actually had the brown borders last year.
Yeah. And if I had
I already forgot. I might have done a break of them and already forgotten.
What was last year was 18, 19?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to talk to fill some time here while Tim digs around.
So we'll pull out the handy dandy book here.
Uh-huh.
I'll flip to the old 18-19 page, and if I just throw some of these up here, if you can see them.
Yeah.
See that they're gold.
That's gold.
Nice gold borders here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what the base card look. Now, like I said, the design's the same, the picture's the same, everything looks the same, but they're a different color. Now, that's fine. I mean, that's great. I'm sure there's other instances where that's not the case. Like, for instance, if they ever came out with an O-Pee-Chee, full set that you could buy retail, I would be a moron if I didn't buy that. Because how many years have I been putting together O-Pee-Chee sets, and I still have yet to complete a single one? I haven't, and that's been since 06. So from 2006 until now, has been a single year that I don't need 0 cards.
Not even 12, 13?
Not even 12, 13.
Because that was the year I bought a case, and I was like generous, like, here's 100 doubles. I don't need them. Here's 200 base cards. I don't need them. Like,
Well, if you want to look at my set list and see what I need and tell me if you got anything, by all means.
probably looked at it 15 times, and I
Yeah, you
probably
probably
gave you
have, and you probably
everything that
haven't.
I had. But
Or the one year, what was it, 13, where they did that weird numbering and the printing, and everybody had the same cards missing.
that was 13, 14. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was some weird,
So
like, every 10th card, like
yeah,
25, 35, 45,
right.
55, something like that was
Yeah.
just,
If you bought a box of cards, every one of them either ended in 2, 5, or 7, or 4, 6, or 8, or it was something odd like that. So I have yet to complete it, but you're talking a set that's 600, 700, 800 cards, depending on the year. It's a super huge set, and I don't mind trying to put it together, but at the same time, that's expensive. So you go to the store and you say, oh, here's the whole set. This saves me time. This saves me money. Great. But my understanding was when I first saw this, hey, yeah, this is it, but something's not right, and they're blue. I looked at the sell sheets for this year, and sure enough, the full set is supposed to come out right after. It's either right after or right before Series 1, and it's also going to be blue. So, and
interesting. Okay,
yeah,
so we have a retail version and a hobby well, wait. So now that's weird because you have cards that come in retail packs and you have cards that come in hobby packs and they look the same. But now you have cards that come in a factory set, which I mean, I guess will also be sold at like DA Card World and like baseball card stores and stuff like that. So you can't really call it a hobby version. It's just the factory set version
yeah,
is different than the pack version.
yeah.
That's
Anybody that's considered an authorized retailer for Upper Deck products is eligible to carry it. So
That's weird. Yeah,
yeah,
man.
so
That's
there
okay.
you go.
I've learned a lot about MVP. So, um, you ready to move on to the next thing? Are we MVP'd out? Can we talk about I want to talk about stickers.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about stickers.
Okay, so Panini is no longer making a sticker album. They will not be making NHL stickers. I know that they've made stickers. Okay, so getting back to Panini, as far as I recollect, the very first hockey album they made was a 1979 World Championship set, which has a lot of players that you've never heard of and will never hear of because not only did it have players from Canada, USA, and Russia, and Sweden, and Finland, it also had players from South Korea, Japan, Italy, Spain, um, lots of countries. It basically had like the second and third tier world championship teams. It's cool because it has stickers of guys like Vladislav Tretiak and Sergei Makarov, long before he became an NHLer, and Valery Karlamov, who never became an NHL player. And then it has, some guys that you know from the NHL, like Marcel Dion, whatever. But okay, so that's the earliest Panini set. Then in the early 80s, Panini actually did the stickers for O-Pee-Chee. So those O-Pee-Chee stickers in the 80s were actually manufactured by Panini. Same with those like Topps baseball stickers from like the 80s when they were on like that papery, they were like on the paper sticker backs. Then in the late 80s, O-Pee-Chee decided to do its own sticker set in-house. So 87, so before 87, 88, Panini was actually making the stickers on behalf of O-Pee-Chee. Then 87, 88, O-Pee-Chee came out with its own set, and then Panini came out with its own set that was branded as Panini. And so they've made a Panini hockey sticker set every year from 87, 88 to 18, 19, but not one year. I want to say 07, 08, they skipped. I believe it was 07, 08, they skipped. There was just one year for whatever reason they skipped. And then in like the 90s and the early 2000s, the Panini sticker sets were only sold in Europe. The NHL sticker sets were only sold in Europe. So like some of them are really hard to get. but that's just but it's still, there's like a sense of continuity there. And I started collecting with O-Pee-Chee hockey in 80, sorry, Panini hockey stickers in 88, 89, because hockey cards were hard to find in Chicago in 89, but the local supermarket had everything Panini, whether it was My Little Pony or Barbie or He-Man or Transformers, or in this case, they also had hockey and had Mario Lemieux on the cover. And so I've always been a fan of Panini hockey stickers. I'm a little surprised that they're not going to be doing a sticker set next year. Topps is going to be doing the sticker set. It's going to be 629 stickers, which is an odd number in more ways than one. You're going to get 5 stickers per pack, 50 stickers per box. So, I mean, you're going to need like 3 boxes to even have a hope of completing a set. And I'm going to assume that the packs are probably going to be $1 a piece, because that seems to be the threshold. Although it's funny because like the hockey shop that I go to like get my skate sharpened or to buy tape or to buy a new stick or whatever, they'll sell packs of cards, and their prices are like way more expensive than like what you'd expect. So like a pack of stickers is like $2 instead of $1. But yeah, so I'm surprised and also like kind of curious about how this is going to play out with Topps and hockey stickers. Have you paid much thought to this since the announcement?
Yeah, and you've nailed way more information than I ever could have pulled out of that. I mean, other than knowing that these were on their way to the shelves in probably mid-November. I think
Mid-November.
November
Yeah.
15th or something
Yeah.
like that was the release date, and how many stickers were going to be in there. I've seen the mock-ups on the design.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of excited when I heard that the Topps was getting back into the sticker market, because I've always liked the old Top stickers where you could still find in nickel and dime bins and stuff like that. It shows, you'll occasionally see them floating around. Plus the old All-Star stickers that used to be
Mm-hmm.
inserted into the
Mm-hmm.
packs and stuff. So those were always cool. And I thought, oh, Topps is jumping back into the market. Hopefully their sticker set is going to be designed like a lot of their stuff on their skate app. And so I was kind of excited to see what their design looked like. And then I saw it.
And it wasn't as cool as skate.
And I was going, wah, wah. I heard the proverbial sad trombone sound. And here's the thing. You're jumping back into a market of physical product. You haven't been in this market for quite a long time. You need people to pay attention. You need people to wake up and be like, oh, look, here's, what happened to these? And sure enough, there's something new. I
Mm-hmm.
thought I didn't like I don't really like the design on them. Now, that's not to say that I'm not going to buy 7 boxes and try to put every sticker in a booklet, but at the same time, I wish they could have done something as far as the design of many of the inserts that have been put into the Topps digital skate app.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of those designs are outstanding. I mean, they're absolutely outstanding. If they could make physical product, I mean, that would fly off the shelf. But unfortunately, with their licensing, they just don't have it. I was shocked to see that they actually were able to jump back into a physical market,
Mm-hmm.
um, showing not only players themselves, but team uniforms and logos, and the advertising on the dasher boards and everything else that goes into having a license. I was surprised to see that the door opened up for them, but I don't know. I don't know how this one's going to go over. If you ask me, it's kind of designed similar to the 16-17 OPG set
Mm-hmm.
with the white borders and just kind of the plain, you know, nondescript kind of looking. There are foil parallels. The foil parallels seem to look, I mean, they sort of look like the prism parallels. So I don't want to say they're copying, but
Mm-hmm.
it's look, I like it. The fact that somebody else has been able to jump into the NHL market, I think is great. Um, Competition is good. Does Upper Deck have a sticker product? No.
No. Do they need one?
Do they need one? I don't think so.
No.
You know, Panini's not making it, so Topps is there, so they're really the only sticker mark that's out there. I am happy to say that, you know, I'll be glad to walk into the dollar store and be able to buy something hockey related now. I will say that because I'm sure the dollar store and the Dollar Tree and all of those will have these nested nicely right next to their counters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited about it, partially because it's Topps. I know Upper Deck just re-signed an exclusive for an undisclosed number of years. So it's not like Topps is going to be able to sneak its way back into the hockey card market anytime soon. But this is a start. First,
I'd like to know how they got this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, usually it has to do with performance. If a product isn't performing well, the NHL, the NHLPA is going to say something about that. They're going to notice that, and they're going to want to know why, and then they're going to want to know what could be done better. So, I mean, obviously the NHL is very happy with Upper Deck because they keep feeding them the exclusive license, and we've gotten some good stuff because of that. And in a way now, like Upper Deck is kind of like what Topps was 25 years ago, where we could look at Topps and say, oh man, they've been making hockey cards for like, since 57. Well, no, they didn't do 82, 83, 83, 84, or, maybe O-Pee-Chee, right? O-Pee-Chee had like a string of like 25 years of sets that were
Sure.
pretty much uninterrupted. And then now it's like that with Upper Deck, where they've almost been doing it for 30 years. So, it's not like I want them to like, oh, I wish Topps had it and Upper Deck didn't, but I kind of miss those days where I kind of had a choice, where like they tried to outdo each other a little bit. And part of me like kind of misses the fact that like Topps made the cards that I collected growing up, and they're not really a part of that now with hockey.
Right. And all we've really had of anybody other than that brief moment of Panini in the last, 15 years. Topps has been the only ones that have gotten any type of sniff at an NHL license, and that's only with their digital app.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's a different conversation as to how anybody feels one way or another about uh, a digital card versus a real card.
Oh, no, but you're forgetting about Puck Attacks.
Oh,
Puck
yeah.
Attacks!
I think we're all forgetting about that. And
remember those
let's just
round?
yes, I
They were
do.
round. They didn't fit in
Yeah,
pages.
right. I still have some of those from Penguin
I
players.
was dumb enough to try to complete a set. And you actually applauded me because you're like, oh wow,
Yeah.
we're at a show, and not only did I buy a couple boxes of like the booster packs, I bought a box of starter boxes. It was like a case of 10 starter boxes.
Yeah, because it was a game, right? And you had like it was enough to like play the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, the starter box was to play a game. So I bought
Yeah.
like 10 starter boxes because there were only certain cards that you could get in the starter boxes. And then I bought the booster packs to try to build the set, and also because there were parallels that you could only get in the booster packs. And it lasted 1 year, and it just wasn't really well received. I want to say it was 10, 11. And
Yeah.
I mean, for a number of reasons. I mean, I know like with Match Attacks, the soccer game, they were like cards. And with Puck Attacks, they made them round. And of course, we know that whenever you make anything that's not 2.5 by 3.5, people just instantly hate it.
Yeah, that is true. Because I mean, really, what do you do with them? I mean, the ones I have, they're in a box and they're turned sideways or they fall flat
Yeah.
because they don't fit in the normal thing. And it's not like you can put them in a 9-pocket page either because they don't fit in there.
You could put them in 4-pocket pages, but then you have a lot of room left over. So it's not
Well,
really.
and then you have to buy 4-pocket pages, and who wants to do that?
Oh, well, I have pretty much all of them. But I also collect like postcards and oversized cards
Well,
and stuff like
sure.
that. So I like having those different supplies.
You collect off the grid though, so
Off the grid.
not many people do that.
What do you mean off the grid?
You go off the grid. You go like, here's these people collect, this set and this set and this set that are readily available, and you collect like the 1975 Finnish Elite League set that was only released in you know,
Finland.
in Siberia somewhere, and there's only 12 sets known to man, and you have 11 and a half of them. So
Right. Well, I'm very proud of the fact that I owned a Vladislav Tretiak Semic sticker from 1972,
yeah,
73. I mean, I
I
think
don't know.
that's
I don't know that many people that could actually say that. So
yeah. I mean,
there you go.
if I could, I'd trade it for his Russian postcard from the previous year. But yeah, I mean, but that's the thing though, is like when you collect for a long time, you have to start looking for other things to collect. And it's a little sad in a sense when like I walk up to a dealer and I'm like, what do you got for hockey? And he's like, oh, I have all these cards from the 70s and 80s. And it's like, well, I pretty much have every card from the 70s. It like if it's O-Pee-Chee 73 and up or Tops 69 and up or 68 and up, I mean, I have it. You know what I mean? So then I have to start looking for
Right.
those off the grid things. And
Right.
yeah,
No, I'm not knocking it. I'm just
no,
saying
no, no.
that's it's everybody's got their thing, and if there's something out there and it's been made, I know that I can pretty much call Sal and say, "Hey, you ever seen this before?" Yeah, I've got 7 of them right here.
Well, you know what's funny was like I interviewed a guy for a hockey news article that I'm working on, and he played 3 games for the Islanders. His name was Brad Turner, and or his name is Brad Turner. He played 3 games for the Islanders in 91, 92. He didn't have a card, but he had like a minor league card. So like we were talking, and I talked to him a few times because I was interviewing him for the story, and like I texted him a picture of his like card from like the ECHL or something. It was just funny that I happened to have that. You know what I mean? Because he had like very few cards, and I just happened to have one of them, which was. But you know, then again, I probably found that ECHL set for like $1 or $2 at a show, and said, okay,
Right.
you know, like why not? I mean, it's got a few guys that like played in the NHL but didn't have cards, or a few guys that like were kind of on their way down or whatever. I mean, everybody likes what they like, and I think yeah, the oddball stuff is definitely, you know, I mean, you can only buy the 86, 87 top set once, right? After that, it's just all doubles, right?
That is true.
So yeah, so it should be kind of cool to see. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up? 'Cause
Um,
we are like in an hour. We're like an hour long podcast now.
that's all right.
Yeah, they'll just listen to this over their next 3 lunch breaks. You know, I will talk about this really quick. Last week I launched the Puck Junk shop, shop.puckjunk.com. Uh, my girlfriend and I designed some T-shirts that look like old school hockey card wrappers. We have 4 different designs of shirts that look like old school hockey card wrappers. They will actually be in stock this week. I'm getting them in uh, towards the middle or end of the week, so those will be ready to ship. And then we also designed a couple of shirts for hockey players that kind of have jokes or sayings on them that you would get if you're more of like a rec league player. And those will be in stock next week. And this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I've had these ideas for like shirts, and I don't want to make $1 million off of the idea. I mean, if I do, that's great, but it's just something that I've wanted to do for a long time, you know, just an itch that needed to be scratched, something I wanted to try. So if you enjoy if you enjoy puckjunk.com, or if you enjoyed this podcast, you know, please check out the shop, maybe consider buying a shirt because it'll help support the site. It'll help support the podcast. I just had to pay a couple $100 to upgrade some stuff for Puck Junk. That's neither here nor there. I would do it regardless because I love doing it. But oh man, I mean, technology's expensive, and hobbies are expensive, and hobbies about hobbies are expensive. I mean, once you go beyond that free WordPress or Blogger blog, you know what I mean?
Hobbies about hobbies are the worst.
Hobbies about hobbies, yeah.
Yes.
Writing about, well, that's how I got my start into writing, and I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, I guess you're right. Um, or as my girlfriend says, your hobby is boring as she watches me sort cards.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll agree
So
that that's the part I don't like.
so where can people go and find these?
Oh, the shirts,
Yeah,
shop.puckjunk.com.
nice.
Nice. Yeah. So here's to hoping. All right, that's pretty much it on my end. Maybe we'll just save the other stuff for next time. Sound good?
Hey, if we're gonna get back on the horse, we need stuff to talk about next week too, right?
All right, awesome. Well, until next week. Thanks for listening to the relaunch of the Puck Junk podcast. If you liked this, please subscribe or click the like button or post a comment or I don't know, just anything that shows that I gave this a listen and we want more of it.
Send all your hate mail to Sal though.
Oh yeah, the good stuff and the bad stuff. I can take it. All right, so until next time, thanks again.
For more hockey goodness, follow us on Twitter @PuckJunk.